Okay, welcome back, everybody. I don't know what I did a while ago. I guess I must have hit go live before that timer had run completely out, and um, none of the notifications got sent out apparently. But apparently this one worked, so it's good to see everybody. Welcome, Piano Matron Nini, and there's four more people watching. Welcome. Yeah, say hey in the chat if you like. Uh, Happy New Year, everybody! If you're following that particular calendar, got a couple of announcements or messages just to cover before we get into tonight's topic. The book that I've been writing, I've gotten into chapter 4 now, but I have not completed any of the previous chapters. I'm just kind of writing what I think of or what I feel like writing at the time, but it's coming together pretty well. So hopefully that will be finished soon. And I'm dreading the proofreading. I'm dreading that. I'm probably going to have to rewrite the book because of my spelling. I have been kind of reading back over a lot of it though, and so far I haven't seen a lot of mistakes. So maybe I won't have to correct too terribly much. Um, Saturday, this coming SAT day, I'm premiering another song, and I want to appreciate. I want to thank you all for uh, kind of giving me some positive feedback about that other song, but it was terribly done. Uh, Welcome, good to see you, Aaron Watts. Um, and if anybody likes to watch some fishing videos, my friend Aaron Watts here, he's just started a YouTube channel where he's going to be talking with you and sitting on the riverbank catching fish. And I know Aaron in real life. I know him personally, and I can tell you he can tell some good ones. He's pretty entertaining. But yeah, y'all check his channel out. Aaron, I might have to. You might have to tell what the name of it is in the chat or something. Welcome back, Fear. Thank you for your help while ago. I think I messed something up. I must have hit the go live button before the timer ran out, and that must have been what messed everything up. Thank you for your help, though. Oh, and by the way, if my mic is way too loud or way too quiet, I've been adjusting on sounds and stuff, working on songs and stuff. So if it's way too loud, y'all let me know. I have to turn it down. One of my the OBS is telling me it's super loud, and then StreamYard saying it's barely picking it up. So I don't really know what to say there, how to figure that out. Y'all gonna have to help me out there. But I was talking about the song that's premiering SAT Day at 10 o'clock. Now, I may or may not be in the chat. I don't know if I'll be up in time or not. But that's probably going to be the last song that I upload for at least a while, because it's been a long time since I did any kind of singing and playing, especially recorded or into a mic, amplified or whatever. And it's tricky. It's not something that I've been able to just jump right back into or anything. But I'm gonna have to put that on hold for a while. And thank you, Piano Matron Nini. I saw that you had shared my song the other day, and um, I got a few that I'm gonna probably be posting on my channel as well of yours. And thank you for doing that. But the reason I'm putting it on hold, I'm having to put it on hold because my studies come first, and I'm not going to have a whole lot of time to do both picking and singing and and studying and working a 9 to 5 job. I'm supposed to start tomorrow go back to logging, and it's pretty good. The guy I'm going to work with, I have a lot of respect for. I've worked with him for years. He's a great guy. Do anything he can for his employees. So I'm gonna have to be spending a lot of time doing that. Uh, I tried to call him today. He didn't answer the phone, but that's normal. But I'm going to be there in the morning to go to work. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. The Discord servers, y'all, the last week or so have been some really good discussions go on in the Discord server. And if anybody might could share the link to to the ECF Discord server, if anybody would like to join, I will put it in the description. Like I say, I had to restart this live stream because I messed everything up. But yeah, the discussions have been really good and calm and just very informative as of late. And I appreciate everybody asking questions and joining and just talking about the things that you might have on your mind. All right, so enough of all that. Thank you very much, Piano Matron Nini. Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to that. It's gonna be good to get to catch up on bills and put a few groceries in the cabinet. Now, thank you, Fear, for sharing the Discord server. Now, let me figure out how to do all of this again. I've put together a little bit of something tonight. Come on, figure it out, Anthony. Aha. What's the new year all about? Now, it's going to be a good bit of reading here, but most of it's pretty easy to read. It's not a lot of names to read. But when I asked at the beginning there, has everybody got their gardens planted or at least tilled up? Because according to Catholicism, the Romans and their religion here, we're supposed to do that like today. It says an ancient Roman religion and myth. They call it myth, but when it comes to scripture, what I've seen coming from scripture, it's not very mythical to me. But this name, Janus, and I can't pronounce all this other stuff, but is the god of beginnings, gates, transitions, time, duality, doorways, passages, frames, and endings. He is usually depicted as having two faces. Now, how many people enjoy following a two-faced God, a two-faced Elohim? I mean, really? It sounded like a war zone around my house last night, and hopefully none of the cops got scared and thought they were gunshots and ended up being too antsy. But anyway, continuing on. It says the month of January is named for Janus. According to ancient Roman farmers' almanacs, Juno was mistaken as a tutelary deity I can't say that word, of the month of January. But Juno is the tutelary deity of the month of June. Oh, I went too far. Janus presided over the beginning and ending of conflict, and hence war and peace. The gates of a building in Rome named after him, not a temple as it is often called, but an open enclosure with gates at each end. Now that's important. Remember the gates were opened in time of war and closed to mark the arrival of peace. As a god of transitions, he had functions pertaining to birth and journeys and exchange, and in his association, Portunus, a similar harbor and gateway god, He was concerned with traveling, trading, and shipping. Janus had no flamen or specialized priest assigned to him, but the king of the sacred rites himself carried out his ceremonies. Sorry, it's difficult for me to read. Janus had a I can't say that word, presence, ubiquitous, and sorry, presence in religious ceremonies throughout the year. As such, Janus was ritually invoked at the beginning of each ceremony, regardless of the main deity honored on any particular occasion. So we see this Janus was invoked first. What did I just see that? Such as Janus was ritually invoked at the beginning. Yeah, Janus was ritually invoked at the beginning. So when people are out there celebrating this ball drop at Times Square and all this stuff, this is what they're doing. That's the beginning of the year. They're counting down to the time to celebrate this deity here, this Janus deity. While the ancient Greeks had no known equivalent to Janus, there is considerable overlap with, I can't say that word, of the Etruscan pantheon. However, the Greek word Genesis, which means a new beginning or rebirth in Greek, may be the true origin of the name Janus. Genesis. Keep that in mind. This is getting pretty heavy, ain't it? The etymology of Janus, it says the name of the god Ianus, meaning in Latin, arched passage, doorway, stems from Proto-Italic, ultimately from Proto-Indo-European. It is cognate with, and I'm not going to read all that. I can't say it. Janus was then to be an action name expressing the idea of going, passing, formed on the root, theme of the root. And they messed me up with all this stuff right there. Sorry. Yeah, I can't read all that. Other modern scholars, etymology either from Dianus or from root Yah. Now, many people have heard me refer to Yahweh as Yah, but we'll get into that another day. But I just wanted to point that out. Is this Dianus comes from this Yah here, but that's not the Yah that I'm referring to. It says from Janus derived in Neu, meaning door, and hence the English word janitor. However, the Greek word Genesis, which means a new beginning or rebirth in Greek, may be the true origin of the name Janus. Didn't I just read that? All right. Ancient interpretations. I'm not going to read all three of them, just the last two. Other etymology. Yes, I am. Three etymologies were proposed by ancient erudites, each of them bearing implications about the nature of the god. The first one is based on the definition of chaos given by Paul the Deacon. I don't think that's the Paul that wrote 2/3 of the New Testament, by the way. Be open, from which the word Janus would derive by the loss of the initial aspirate. In this etymology, the notion of chaos would define the primordial nature of the god. Another etymology proposed by, can't say that word, Nagidius, is related to Marcobius. Janus would be Apollo, and Diana. Let me see. This explanation has been accepted by A.B. Cook and J.G. Fraser. It supports all the assimilations of Janus to the bright sky, the sun, and the moon. It supposes a form, Dianus, from a. I'm not going to read all that. However, the form Dianus postulated by Nigidius is not attested. A third etymology indicated by Cicero and Marcobius, which explains the name as Latin, deriving it from the verb ere, I guess that's how that's pronounced, is based on the interpretation of Janus as the god of beginnings and transitions. Theology and functions. While the fundamental nature of Janus is debated, the most modern scholars view the god's functions may be seen as being organized around a single principle, presiding over all beginnings and transitions. Whether abstract or concrete, sacred or profane, interpretations concerning the god's fundamental nature either limit it to its general function or emphasize a concrete or particular aspect of it, identifying him with light, the sun, the moon, time, movement, the year, doorways, bridges, etc., or else seen in the god of sort a cosmological principle, interpreting him as a Uranic deity. Almost all of these modern explanations were originally formulated by the ancients. God of beginnings and passages. His function as God of beginnings has been clearly expressed in numerous ancient sources, among them most notably Cicero, Ovid, and Varro. As a god of motion, Janus looks after passages, causes actions to start and presides over all beginnings. Since movement and change are interconnected, he has a double nature symbolized in his two-headed image. He has under his tutelage the stepping in and out of the door of homes. One second, y'all. I can't. Sorry. It says the Janu, which took its name from him. Where am I at? I just lost my place. Took a name from it, and not vice versa. Similar, his tutelage extends to the covered passage named Iana, and foremost to its gates of the city, including the cultic gate of the Argolitium, named Janus Geminus, or Porta, and I can't say that word, Anuus, which he protects Rome against the Sabines. He is also present at the, why they got to come up with such weird names, Sororium Tilgium, where he guards the terminus of his ways into Rome from Latium. I think that was a misprint, and I think they did that on purpose. Latium. He has an altar, later a temple near the Porta Sarmatius, Tales, whatever, where the road leading to Ville ended, as well as being present in the gate of Rome to Uturia. I might have to find out what this Uturia is, but the connection of the notion of beginning, the connection of the notions of beginning, movement, transition, and thence time was clearly expressed by Cicero. In general, Janus is the origin of time as the guardian of the gates of heaven. Jupiter himself can move forth and back because of Janus's working. In one of his temples, probably that of Forum Holitorium, The hands of his statue were positioned to signify the number 355, later 365, symbolically expressing his mastership over time. He presides over the concrete and abstract beginnings of the world, such as religion and the gods themselves. He too holds the access to heaven and to other gods. This is the reason why men must invoke him first, regardless of the god they want to pray to or whatever that may worship. He is the initiator of human life, of new historical ages, and financial enterprises. According to myth, he was the first to mint coins, and the as, we might check out what that is right here. That's the as. It's a type of coin, I guess. First coin of the liberal series bears his effigy on one face. So we see that we have to invoke this Janus character before we can even worship or say a prayer to the Most High, according to this. And maybe they're wrong about this, but hey, everything else that they do in this time of the year is being anti-scriptural, so why not this too? God of change, Janus frequently symbolizes change and transitions, such as the progress of past to future, from one condition to another, from one vision to another, and young people's growth to adulthood. He represented time because he could see into the past with one face and into the future with the other. Hence, Janus was worshipped as the beginning of the harvest and planting time. See, that's why we should have our gardens planted, as well as at marriages, deaths, and other beginnings. He represented the middle ground between barbarism and civilization, rural and urban space, youth and adulthood. Having jurisdiction over beginnings, Janus had the intrinsic association with omens and alpaces. And I think pretty much the rest of this stuff is, well, solar god theories. Of course, let me look for just a second, y'all. I think that was all I was going to cover about this, but I wanted to point out that we're supposed to have our gardens planted, and this Janus character is supposed to be the gateway to other Elohim. To in order to worship other Elohim, we have to use this particular God as the gateway. But see, the thing is that is what the Messiah is doing. That's the Messiah. They're just renaming it. The Romans did. What does that say about Catholicism? Now, I wanted to show that what we should do. Now, this is going to be talking about when the year actually does begin, and see if this makes a little more sense when it comes to when we should plant our gardens and prepare for the coming year and things of that nature. Exodus 12, starting verse 1. And by the way, I mainly read from the New King James Version. I'm not dogmatic about any particular version. This is just the one I'm used to, is all. Verse 1, it says, "And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, In the 10th day of the month they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house." Sorry. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats, and ye shall keep it until the 14th day of the same month. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. And they shall take of the blood and strike it on two sides, on the two side posts, and on the upper doorpost of the house, wherein they shall eat it. And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. Eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire, his head with his legs, and with their pasturance thereof. And ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning. And that which remaineth of it until the morning ye shall burn with fire. And thus shall ye eat it with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand. And ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am the Lord. And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be unto you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt. And this day shall be unto you a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast unto the Lord. How long? Throughout your generations. Ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. How long? Forever. 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day shall put away leaven out of your house. For whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day until the 7th day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel. And in the first day there shall be an holy convocation, and in the 7th day there shall be an holy convocation to you. No manner of work shall be done in them, save that which every man must eat, that only may be done of you. And ye shall observe the feast of unleavened bread. I'm not going to go into the unleavened bread just yet. Now, I wanted to point that out because of verse 2 here. When this Passover lamb is when they're doing the Passover, I wanted to point out verse 2 here. It says, "This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you." And then we see what we're supposed to do for Passover. But many people will say that, oh, we don't have to do that anymore. That was done away with when the Messiah resurrected. So allegedly, he just said, okay, well, you can just live a lawless life after that, according to most preachers. But I just pointed out a while ago also that this Passover is done throughout all your generations and forever. Now, let's see when exactly this day is supposed to be. The first day of the year is Leviticus 23. Is that right? Yeah, Leviticus 23, verse 1. It says, "And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, The feast of the Lord, which you shall proclaim to be holy convocations, these are my feasts. The Sabbath. 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is a Sabbath of solemn rest, a holy convocation. You shall do no work on it. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in your dwellings, the Passover and unleavened bread. These are the feasts of the Lord, holy convocations which you shall proclaim at their appointed times. When? We're supposed to proclaim them at their appointed times. Now, that is a debate or a discussion that I cannot get into. I don't know enough about exactly when the appointed times are, but I can tell you that the Gregorian calendar is nowhere close. Because if the Gregorian calendar is correct, then we're supposed to have been outside today planting our gardens for the spring, for all of this and stuff like that. We just read about that. Verse 5, though, it says, on the 14th day of the first month at twilight is the Lord's Passover. So, all right, let me see how I can explain this. On the 14th day of the first month. So does that mean Passover is in 14 days? No. Passover is not in 14 days. And we'll see that in just a little bit. It says, on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread to the Lord. 7 days you must eat unleavened bread. On the first day you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work on it, but you shall offer an offering made by fire to the Lord for 7 days. The seventh day shall be a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work on it. So the main thing I wanted to point out here is this is talking about the Feast of Unleavened Bread and Passover, and it's supposed to be done on the 14th day of the first month. All right, there's different opinions on what is the first day of the month. One translation, I guess, or whatever, calls it Nisan 1. It says it's the biblical New Year, the biblical New Year's Day, the start of the month of the Exodus from Egypt, and the beginning of Jewish national history. It is also the first month used for counting the festivals of the Hebrew calendar and for reckoning the years of reign of the kings of Israel. So that's what Nisan says, and another term that is used is Abib. However, Abib has other meanings as well. Abib is the original name of the first month of the Jewish sacred calendar and the seventh month of the secular calendar. That doesn't seem right. It means green ears and ran from mid-March to mid-April, according to the Gregorian calendar anyway. Abib is not properly a name of a month, but part of a descriptive phrase, the month of young green ears, young green ears of grain. Sorry. All right. So if y'all have been able to bear with me through that terrible reading, what are y'all's thoughts on that? I mean, I personally don't see anything wrong with popping firecrackers, but are we doing it for the right reason? And maybe should we even be talking about it? Because the whole world just goes by it. The only thing is how are we going to keep his appointed feast at their appointed times if we go by the Gregorian calendar? Because if we go out, say, today or tomorrow and start tilling our garden up and planting it, then we're not going to have anything come in. It's not going to grow in the snow and the ice and stuff on the ground. That's kind of why I chose this background behind me, which I don't particularly like because it contrasts so bad. But could you imagine going out in weather like that and planting your fields? I mean, that's just kind of weird, in my opinion, anyway. And it always has been. Why did they even come up with starting the month in the middle of winter. That's just crazy. However, I know why now, because it has to follow along with their Elohim, the things that they worship. It has to do that. All right, so let me go back in the chat and see who all is here. Kelly, hello. Said hello to Aaron Watts, Fear Yahweh, Piano Matron Nini, Wanda Temple. I see there's 2 people in the chat. Scott Thompson, 3 people from Amite County in the chat tonight. Welcome, y'all. It's really good to see folks from near my hometown. And Tanya Sparrow, good to see you. I hope I haven't missed anybody. But I'm really glad to see people from my hometown in the chat. And hopefully we can sort of work together on some things and maybe help others around this area see these things too, and maybe start to make our community a better community for everybody, so I don't know, but up to y'all. I mean, I'm right here until they get me. I'm right here. But I do want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. And like I say, and JJ, better late than never. Welcome, brother. Like I say, join us in the Discord server sometimes. And I know this hasn't been a very long stream tonight, but I'd like to hear from y'all. And I'm sure some of each of y'all would like to hear from each other as well. Because like I say, we've had some pretty good conversations in the Discord server last week or so. They've been some, I guess you could call debates, but they didn't really get out of hand or nothing. But it's really good to do that, because iron sharpens iron. If we just keep going along thinking we know everything, and we don't ever hear any kind of differences of opinion on it, then we might go through life thinking we know something incorrectly. So I might need to be told a few things too from time to time, But yeah, if anybody was there last week at Virtual House Church too, by the way, that was a really good tour portion. That was, y'all should check out Virtual House Church on YouTube. JJ, I don't know if I've moderated you here, and if I haven't, then I'll try to go back and get that done. I don't think I can do it through StreamYard though. At least if I can, I haven't figured out how. But maybe if anybody from Virtual House Church is here, maybe they could share the link to their whatever it's called, channel. I couldn't think for a second there. Sorry. But yeah, it's good to see everybody tonight, and many blessings to y'all. And I really hope that everybody's had a safe and good get together, if that's what everybody did. I'm not gonna sit here and say that it's wrong to get together as friends and family and have a good time together, shoot some fireworks and stuff like that. It's just we just have to kind of keep in mind that what it represents and stuff like that, so we don't end up making mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes, but whenever we find out that we are making them, we should learn from them. And at least in my opinion, I kind of feel like that if we learn from our mistakes, then it wasn't a mistake at all. So anyway, I'm probably going to be just a few minutes. I'm going to grab a bite to eat and then jump in the Discord server if anybody would like to join. I've got to get to bed a little bit early tonight, if I can sleep. I have been staying up all night long and been watching the sun come up every morning. I have completely got my days and nights upside down. So if I just got to push through tomorrow with no sleep, that'll be fine. But I need to at least try to get my days and nights back right. But thank y'all very, very much for coming. And I hope this helped y'all or edified y'all or at least piqued your interest to look into some of these things about our days of the week, our months of the year, and the Gregorian calendar altogether. Which all I can really say about it is that it's completely wrong. I don't know enough about the calendar to tell you which one's right. However, my friend Chris and a few others in the Discord server seem to know quite a bit about how it's explained in Scripture, and I think they do a very good job of keeping up with it and stuff like that. But anyway, hopefully we'll see y'all there in just a little while. Much love, many blessings, and peace.